Close your eyes or soften your gaze and take a few deep breaths. Imagine yourself facing someone with whom you have a difference in opinion. This difference feels significant, a clash of truths between you. Acknowledge the frustration that might arise. They believe something deeply, something they hold to be good and right. You hear their conviction and it feels at odds with what you hold true. This dissonance feels bitter, and you can feel your body reacting to this difference. Take a moment to pause and without any judgment, instead with mindful awareness of what sensations you feel in your body as a result of this difference. Perhaps your heart rate has become elevated, your palms have become a little sweaty, or you feel your breath taken away a little and you find that it is more difficult to speak in a conversational tone. Is there anything that has become tense in your body as a result of this difference? Suppose you were told you are always late, or that you are a jerk, or you don't care about anyone but yourself. How can you find the truth in those statements, instead of just stating how they are wrong? Validate their feelings by acknowledging the validity of their experience, even if you have a different interpretation of events. For example, you might say, "I can understand why you might feel that way, and I'm sorry if my actions have caused you to feel that I don't care. I hear you, and I want you to know that your feelings are important to me. I can see how my behavior may have led you to feel this way. I appreciate you sharing your perspective with me. It's clear that this situation has affected you deeply, and I'm sorry for any pain it may have caused. I can see how my words or actions may have come across differently than I intended and have had an impact on you, and I want to take responsibility for that. I'm sorry for any confusion or hurt they may have caused. Now take a moment to find the truth in what the other has said, no matter how small it may be. If you were a lawyer advocating their point, what arguments would you bring to the table in their behalf? Turn this into a game, becoming curious instead of furious. Beneath the bitterness, you recognize a deeper truth. You both care. You care about what you believe in, and you care about this person. Perhaps they care about protecting tradition while you see the need for progress. Maybe they prioritize safety while you value freedom. Let's ponder just 3 topics of possible clashes. Environment versus economy. One person might advocate for stricter environmental regulations, even if it means job losses. Another might prioritize economic growth, even if it harms the environment. Both care, one for a healthy planet, the other for people's livelihoods. Law and order versus justice. One person might believe in harsh punishments to deter crime, while another prioritizes rehabilitation. Both care about people. One focuses their attention on a safe society. The other focuses compassion on those that need extra help and care to integrate and help society. Tradition versus innovation. One person might value preserving cultural heritage, while another believes in embracing new ideas. Both care, one for the wisdom of the past, the other for the possibilities of the future. Search for truth by finding common ground. Despite the differences, a thread of love and concern for humanity can connect you. Imagine this shared love as a sweetness arising from the bitter clash that can only be uncovered by one like you, who holds the key to a deeper connection between opposing views. Can you approach your conversation with compassion and understanding, acknowledging that they too are living what they believe to be true and living with integrity? In what ways do your judgments and past experiences with this person or people like them color your judgment? Do you move forward more aggressively knowing you have the backing of other people that take your view? Further dividing groups or individuals. Perhaps true connection lies not in finding a single shared truth, but in respecting the integrity of each other's beliefs.
In this space of profound listening, your intention is clear: to understand deeply before seeking to be understood. With each breath, cultivate a sense of openness to the speaker's words. As they share their thoughts and feelings, resist the urge to merely parrot, verbatim, or paraphrase. Instead, allow their words to flow through you, taking root in your heart and mind. This is not a time to build your case and show how invalid their points are by the facts that you have. Those can wait, or if you are mature enough, let go if the stakes are low enough. This will likely only happen with building space into your day to not rush from task to task. If you feel the need, make it a task to sincerely seek to understand someone with whom you have a disagreement. Start small with just one disagreement per day if that helps, and then eventually work your way up to 3 differences per day. There are more of these than you probably realize in your daily interactions with others. compassion and care, rephrase their words in a way that honors their perspective and validates their experience. Let your rephrasing be kind and gentle, reflecting a sincere desire to understand and connect. Avoid the temptation to twist their words to fit your own narrative or agenda. Instead, embrace the richness of their expression, acknowledging the nuances and complexities of their thoughts. In this sacred exchange, the goal is not to pit their words against them or assert your own interpretation. Rather, it is to create a space of mutual respect and empathy where understanding can blossom organically. With each rephrased word, affirm your commitment to deep listening and authentic communication. Let your words be a bridge that fosters connection and harmony, paving the way for genuine understanding and mutual respect. Continue to breathe deeply, anchoring yourself in this space of compassionate listening.
Imagine someone you disagree with. This could be a friend, family member, or even a stranger whose views challenge your own. See them clearly in your mind's eye. Notice their posture, their expression, and their overall demeanor. Now take a deep breath and imagine yourself stepping into their world. Try to see the event through their eyes, even if you believe their own faulty thinking has caused their pain. Ask yourself what experiences have shaped their beliefs. What stories do they carry? What fears or joys might influence their perspective? Notice the emotions that arise within them. Are they feeling misunderstood, frustrated, or afraid? Perhaps there's a sense of loyalty or a deep-seated belief driving their stance. Acknowledge their feelings without judgment. Remember, their feelings are valid even if you disagree with their logic. This doesn't mean agreeing with them, but acknowledging their right to feel the way they do. Focus your energy on what it is like to be them, not what injustices you are experiencing as a result of their negligence or faulty thinking. Resist the urge to correct and teach, and instead experience what they may be feeling and thinking.
Let's begin by imagining yourself facing someone you want to connect with. This could be a friend, family member, or even a stranger. Your goal is to truly understand them before offering advice or solutions. Listen deeply and give them your full attention, focusing on both their words and the emotions behind them. Once they've shared and you have acknowledged the truth in what they have said, no matter how small, then gently summarize their experience and acknowledge their feelings. You could say, "So it sounds like you're feeling emotion X because of XYZ. That must be difficult for you." Let's not assume we got it all right, but ask them and confirm our understanding was right. There are many places for communication to break down, especially when emotions are high and cognition is low. You can use open-ended and straightforward questions like, "Did I get that right?" "Is that what you were saying?" "How well would you say that I heard you right?" "Is there anything I missed or got wrong?" If you think there might be more to the situation than what was said, you could also ask probing questions. "Is there anything I haven't considered that might be important for me to understand where you're coming from? I noticed you mentioned X, Y, and Z. Can you tell me a bit more about those? Understanding that could help me get a clearer picture of your experience and what you hope to happen." Remember that your goal is to find as much common ground as possible, so listen for agreement. Pay close attention to their response. Did your rephrase statement capture their experience accurately? Notice their body language and tone of voice, but don't get wrapped up in it, as it will likely make your cognition go down and emotions rise, disconnecting you from your prefrontal cortex and, unfortunately, tap you into your amygdala again. We are not in survival mode, and our life is not at risk here, so that will not serve us well in this situation. In your asking, propose something that might strengthen their case and ask if that is accurate. Show compassion, and if you are able, take the stance of arguing their case even further than they did. If they hesitate or seem unclear, repeat step 2 of rephrasing your summary, and if it feels right, step 3 as well of empathizing before asking again. Aim for their "yes, exactly," or a similar confirmation of understanding. It is very likely that they will repeat themselves. That is normal and okay. It takes time for people to feel safe. Listening to them say the same thing again shows love and compassion. You might follow up with what you heard again and any minute details they added, and ask if perhaps there were more they want to share. There is no magic bullet for how to make a conversation go smoothly. Conversations can be hit and miss depending on the stress and other unseen factors in the person's life. That is why it is so vital to convey a desire to listen and show love regardless of how they might respond. Remember, this is a process. It will likely take more than a year to feel natural and organic and require a lot of offline practice. This depends, of course, on how defensive you are and how long you have conditioned yourself to jump to stating your own truth. You are very likely breaking cultural norms by communicating with compassion and grace. This meditation presupposes your intention to foster connections, collaborate, build bridges, connect and operate as a cohesive team, rather than treating the individual solely as a means to an end. If you're an employer or supervisor, the underlying principle here is to prioritize the dignity and worth of employees, ensuring they feel valued for their contributions rather than just being expected to obey without question. Be aware that it will feel uncomfortable, and in listening this way, you will likely lose points of argument as you listen deeply and will not be able to state your case as well as you intended. If it is possible and you think it is important enough, make that gentle request to come back to the conversation later to share some of your thoughts. Do this especially if emotions are still high. Step back and observe without judgment but with awareness how you feel and what emotions have arisen in you. Once they feel heard, acknowledge their willingness to share. You could say, "Thank you for trusting me with that." This will build trust and connection. You might explore solutions together, but only if they seem open to it. Remember, this meditation is about creating a safe space for their truth to be heard and validated. Count the conversation as a victory, since you gave the gift of your full attention and showed love and compassion to the person or group of people you had a difference with. It is not easy listening to people who are upset with you. You likely do not want them to walk away thinking that you are not very intelligent or don't have any valid points. Remember, being defensive and arguing for what you want is natural. This can easily be observed in young children who, without teaching, naturally gravitate towards this behavior. You are breaking this natural tendency and habit with conscious choosing.
Recall a recent interaction where you listened with empathy and wanted to share your perspective. Visualize the entire conversation unfolding with clear communication, empathy, and a focus on meeting each other's needs. Before diving into your perspective and telling your truth, make sure the person is willing and able to hear your perspective by checking with them first. Here are a few examples of what you could ask. Would you be willing to hear my perspective? Thank you for sharing that. It adds another layer to the situation. I have some ideas based on my own experience that might build on what you mentioned. Would you be open to hearing them? That's a great point. It highlights a key aspect of the situation. I see a similar theme in my own experience that might bridge the gap between our views. Would you be interested in hearing it? Invite further discussion. Thank you for sharing that. I have some thoughts on this as well. Is there a good time to continue this conversation? This allows the other person some control over timing while expressing your desire to continue. Reflect on the unmet needs that led to your discomfort in the situation. For example, did you feel a need for connection, honesty, or respect? Identify your feelings and translate judgments like disrespected into observable behaviors and state the underlying feelings. Avoid blaming or attacking evaluations and judgments or making demands of the other person. We would not say things like, "You're so inconsiderate when you come late to meetings," or "I feel like you're being lazy," or "Stop interrupting me." You could instead say something like, "When you interrupted me while I was speaking," or "When the decision was made without my input, I felt unheard because I have a need to be heard and to contribute." Formulate a concise statement that expresses your feelings and needs using the nonviolent communication framework by Marshall Rosenberg. I felt, now state the feeling, when, now describe the situation. Because I have a need for, now state the need. Now let's make a request by visualizing yourself ending your statement with a question that invites further conversation. You could ask, "What are your thoughts on this?" Or "Would you be open to finding a way to include me in future decisions?" Maintain openness by imagining yourself receiving their response with an open mind. Be prepared to adjust your perspective based on their response. Be willing and ready for the possibility of a defensive response, and repeat steps 1 through 4 of finding the truth, rephrasing, empathizing, and asking if you understood them right. Empathetic listening is not for the weak. It takes time and patience, but it is incredibly worth it and very rewarding. If you are concerned about the time it will take, remember that in the long run, it will ultimately save you time.
Bring to mind a recent conversation where someone listened attentively to your perspective, even when it differed from theirs. Recall the details of the interaction, their body language, their tone of voice, and the effort they made to understand you. Sense a wave of gratitude wash over you for their willingness to engage in this sometimes difficult conversation. Appreciate the time and respect they afforded you, even amidst the disagreement. Now, shift your focus to something you found valuable in this person's perspective, no matter how small. Perhaps the other person actively listened and tried to understand your feelings, even if they didn't agree with your viewpoint. Appreciate their attempt to connect on a personal level. Maybe the conversation was heated, but the other person remained patient and allowed you both to express yourselves. Be grateful for their willingness to work through the disagreement calmly. Did the other person ask clarifying questions or show genuine interest in understanding your perspective? Appreciate their attempt to learn from your viewpoint. Maybe the other person shared some of their own experiences or feelings related to the topic. Be grateful for their willingness to be vulnerable and create a more profound connection. Perhaps the other person offered honest feedback, even if it was challenging to hear. Appreciate their directness and willingness to help you see things from a different angle. Did the conversation ultimately lead to a solution or compromise that worked for both parties? Appreciate their willingness to find common ground. Maybe the other person acknowledged the possibility they might be wrong or open to learning more. Be grateful for their humility and willingness to grow. Did the other person respectfully disagree, even if they were passionate about their own viewpoint? Appreciate their ability to maintain respect despite differences. Remember, the gift can be anything that enriched the conversation or helped you grow. By focusing on and appreciating this aspect, you cultivate sincere respect and gratitude for the other person's effort. Imagine yourself silently thanking this person for their time and consideration. Feel a warmth of gratitude radiating from your core. See yourself offering them a gesture of respect, perhaps a silent bow or a wave of appreciation. Take a final deep breath, releasing any lingering tension. Carry this feeling of appreciation and respect with you throughout your day.